Today's stitch tutorial is Bayeux Stitch. Now I have just done this on my weekly stitch journal, but I actually didn't do it properly. I was doing a bit of a twist on it, and so I thought I would show you the proper way. So the first thing is to lay in your groundwork stitches, and as you can see I am not doing satin stitch, which would be a waste of thread, and there's no need to go right underneath these big areas. So you come up and down alongside each other. On the back of your work you will only have a tiny little stitch going along the edge of your piece of design that you're filling in. I've got crewel wool in my needle, which is the traditional thread to be doing this with, but I have done it with embroidery floss in my needle just the same. It just looks a bit different, but there's nothing stopping you doing it in whichever thread you would like to do. So I'm going to continue laying in these stitches up and down, keeping them straight to the grain. I sort of did a rounded edge here just so you can see that it goes into any shape that you want to fill, and it is quite a quick filling stitch. I come up with my couching stitch. Now traditionally the couching stitch would be made in the same colour of thread, but of course these days we can do what we like. We can be creative with our thread choices. I'm going to lay a couching thread right down the middle because it's quite often easier to keep your couching threads even if you start in the middle and work out either way. And so I'm not going to lay all of my couching threads in one go. I'm going to couch back along here. So I've laid one stitch in, I'll come up in the middle of my threads, and I'm going to make a tiny slanting stitch back across. And I'm not pulling these too tight either. I don't need to pull this stitch right down to the fabric. I just need to couch it down, and then it's holding not only itself but the green threads too. And I'm going to make these about maybe 1 centimetre or ½ an inch apart. I just couch back down along the row. And when I get to the beginning, I'm ready to lay my next thread in. I'll come up about 1 centimetre away and lay my next long thread in. I can audition where it goes. Just put my needle down in the right place. And again couch back along. Now what you definitely don't want to do is line up the little couching stitches. I don't want them in a row, because what will happen is my threads will get sort of pulled together. So there's a stitch there and a stitch there. I need to be in the middle so that I don't end up bunching up the laid threads. So once I've started in the right place, I can just carry on and do the little slanting stitch 1 centimetre apart. Back along again. You're always working your couching thread down one way, back along with the little stitches, and you end up at the start again. Here's my third and final couching thread for this piece, and I'll come up here. So these little stitches are on a par with the bottom row. They're not where the middle row is. And I find that the little slant stitches are actually better than straight across. So it's a really lovely ancient stitch. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how it's done. And if you have, please check out my other stitch tutorials. I have a little playlist on my channel. My channel's all about hand embroidery and creating things, all sorts of crafty things. Thanks so much, and bye from Marion's World.